look at Floyd. Like, Floyd spends money like it's a tap. Like, he's got a tap, just like unlimited amount of money. Money's just flowing. And even as much money as he's made in his career, which he's probably made as much, if not more money than any boxer ever. Like, there's all these lawsuits. Like, he hasn't been paying things, and he owes money on this and owes money on that. And it's like, and then he's got to come out of retirement.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough. I think it's just the lifestyle that Floyd lived.
Yes.
I think he can't fathom to just live a modest lifestyle. It's like he gotta be lavish.
Right. He's got to have those videos where he shows you all the watches, where he opens the case up, you know.
All the money. He gotta show that he got $1 million in his backpack. And, you know, he got the latest watch and the latest car, and look what I just bought.
And when you get into latest watches and latest cars, you get into that, like, boy, that money goes quick.
Yeah.
Bugattis are like $3 million. There's watches that are $3-5 million. That's crazy. So you buy a watch and a car, you're down 10.
Mm-hmm.
That's nuts.
Joe Rogan didn't exactly whisper his doubts when Floyd Mayweather's real estate claims came up. On his podcast, he practically leaned over the table and said, "Hold on, that math doesn't add up."
And one of the reasons why people watch him fight is not because he's like Mike Tyson, just goes out and destroys people. They like watching him fight because they hate him. Because he talks so much shit, and he's like, look at my $1 million watch, look at my f***ing jet, look at my house, look at this. He's like constantly showing you all these things that he has. Like, he'll lay out watches in a hotel bed, like, this is $1 million worth of watches. This watch goes for $2 million. And they're like, this is my small watch that I take sometimes, but I want to show you, when I show up, I bring out the big boy, and it brings out this watch that's covered in diamonds. It's like $5 million. And so you hate him.
And that Floyd owes like $1.4 million in jewelry debts, that Floyd owes like hundreds of thousands of dollars in rent for a private New York apartment. His private jet fuel, he's not paid hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of fuel and maintenance. He put up one of his jets that I think he even sold, but one of his jets, and I want to say one of his properties, like one of his homes, up as collateral for a $54 million loan from a individual, from a billionaire that had a 9% interest on the loan.
Rogan questioned the narrative surrounding Floyd's property empire, pointing out that owning dozens of buildings worth tens of millions sounds impressive, but flashy claims and verified assets are two very different things.
He owed that money to the IRS. How much does he owe?
It's in the $20+ million range.
It's a lot of money, man.
But it's not something that he's been, it's not like deception.
No.
It's just neglect to
It's
pay.
neglect. And it's also like, I think, and there is like a truth to this, he makes so much money, there's probably a point when they're like, hey, it's time to pay your taxes. And you go like, all right, here's a check for $25 million. That's an incredible amount of money. And then they go, that's true, but you owe 50 more. And he's just like, that can't be right. I've given you $25 million.
Yeah, he's bought over 100 luxury cars from the same dealer and always pays in cash.
He has $15 million worth of cars.
Congrats. You could sell those.
And that's where the conversation starts getting interesting. Floyd built the entire Money Mayweather persona around limitless wealth, stacks of cash, luxury watches, private jets, and an untouchable financial empire. But reports circulating in the business world suggest a far more complicated picture.
That Floyd Mayweather is made, and because he's the best in the history of pay-per-view at making sure that the money ends up in his pocket. He is or has been a businessman as an athlete that almost doesn't have a peer because he owns all his own stuff as an independent. Your spending has to be so fiscally irresponsible to lose the amount of money that Floyd Mayweather has lost that it is almost beyond anything that is reason. It's not merely fiscal insanity. It's something that doesn't make any sense to me.
Right. And another sign of him maybe in financial trouble is, as of February 2026, Floyd Mayweather has initiated a massive $340 million lawsuit against Showtime Networks and former executive Steven Espinoza. So he's trying to get some bread right now.
The estimate is that he made over $1.2 billion over the course of his career in just earnings from fights.
According to Business Insider, 2 of Mayweather's commercial properties have reportedly faced foreclosure. There were also claims that his Las Vegas strip club building risked being seized over unpaid property taxes. Add lawsuits involving allegedly unpaid luxury watch and jewelry bills, claims Floyd has strongly denied, and suddenly the conversation shifts from bragging rights to serious financial scrutiny.
They said that, things that they said in this article were insane. That Floyd owes like $1.4 million in jewelry debts, that Floyd owes like hundreds of thousands of dollars in rent for a private New York apartment. His private jet fuel, he's not paid hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of fuel and maintenance. He put up one of his jets that I think he even sold, but one of his jets and I want to say one of his properties, like one of his homes, up as collateral for a $54 million.
The outlet also reported that 2 Trump Las Vegas condos linked to Mayweather were temporarily seized due to unpaid taxes before being returned after payment. On top of that, a massive $54 million loan was reportedly secured using his homes, private jet, and business interests as collateral. Whether it's exaggeration, misunderstanding, or reality, the gap between Floyd's money image and these reports has fueled endless debate.
Yes, he's broke. Of course he's broke. He's a boxer. Did they say can't read? That's not the tease, and at the time that he can't read, and he never denied it. I don't tease him for it. He was a guy who grew up in a boxing gym, right? It's one of these things. You know what you know. You know what you were taught. I didn't teach him about contracts. I didn't teach him about saving. I didn't teach him about investments. Who would have taught him these things? Of course he's broke.
Joe Rogan's skepticism already had people questioning the narrative. But then Chael Sonnen stepped into the discussion with his trademark bluntness. He flipped the question back on the audience, saying, if you wake up and go to work every week because you need money, why would it be strange for a boxer to keep fighting for the same reason?
Mom is all over the... What do you mean is he broke? Of course he's broke. What boxer do you know that isn't broke? What a ridiculous question. But it's the fact that they're attempting to tease him. I mean, first off, they're asking the question. Look, I've told you until Floyd made $1 billion. No, he didn't. Floyd and Conor made $500 million. No, they didn't. Of course they didn't. Nobody's ever confirmed that. And it's the same thing with the check. I got $100 million for a fight. Oh, you did? Who signed the check? Whoever signed is going to want credit for it. There's never been a time that $1 million check was written and the dude that wrote the check didn't make sure that somebody found out he wrote the check. So who wrote the check? Floyd's got a whole bunch of them, apparently. He got $1 billion. Who wrote?
Sonnen didn't stop there. He started dismantling the mythology around boxing paydays, arguing that the massive billion-dollar earning claims and pay-per-view numbers often come from promotional press releases rather than publicly verified financial records. According to him, the companies actually processing the pay-per-views rarely confirm those huge figures, which throws a serious wrench into years of boxing hype.
The numbers aren't what you think they are, right? The numbers are good, and they made a lot of money, but it's not what you think it is. And yeah, of course Floyd's broke. Would you be boxing if you weren't? And it's very tough to be sympathetic.
At the same time, Sonnen wasn't just criticizing Floyd. He was challenging the entire financial storytelling culture in combat sports. He also pointed out how announcing multiple fights around a supposed Tyson matchup would drive any promoter crazy, because timing and exclusivity are everything in the fight business. And that's where the irony deepens, especially with Floyd previously accusing Showtime of questionable business practices.
There owes Logan Paul $1.3 million. No, he doesn't. Just to clear that up, no, he doesn't. Will Logan ever get the money? I think Floyd's broke. Floyd does not owe Logan $1.3 million. Floyd's promotion owes Logan $1.3 million. And now, of course, he's not going to get it. That promotion's already shut down. Allegedly, by the way.